Greetings, my lovelies, and thank you for stopping by the circle today. Yes, I know I am back. It's a very long hiatus, but like a lot of stuff happened that I'm not going to go into, but it doesn't matter. As in the past, it cannot hurt me because there's no Rafiki to bash me on the head to try to teach me a lesson about learning from it. I'm looking forward to for quite some time now because it means that I have finished my first major segment on this channel. Round of applause for me, everybody. This video today is all about releasing your book into the world, which marks the end of my writing progress segment. God, I don't even know how many videos this thing ended up being, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about, click the link up here and check it out. I take you through the writing process from conception of an idea all the way to now when you get to release it. So let's get started. The first major thing that you really need to think about when it comes to releasing your book into the world is how do you want to do it? Do you want to do a traditional route with a book signing in like a store, or are you more comfortable doing everything from behind the camera and having it be virtual? Of course, with like how COVID is, obviously virtual is going to be the best option. That's what I did for the Serpent's Coils, but that was more of a necessity than really something that I actively chose to do. I personally prefer having my book release party in an actual bookstore because in that way you can sort of drag in people off the street, as it were. If you choose to go the more traditional route, since things are kind of starting to open back up normal, all that you really have to do is call and ask if you can host the event there and see what they say or what they recommend, or if they can even point you into the direction of someone who will host it. And when it comes to the books that are done at these events, if they're not one that is sold through the store, typically they're done pre-orders through the store so people can purchase them online through the store gets that revenue, you get a cut, and it's kind of like a mutual beneficiary thing. So then you have your pre-orders, although I would recommend coming with extra just in case something happens to the pre-orders and just in case you have like I said, some random people off the street that are interested in buying your book. Now, if you choose to do virtual, you can go about it one or two ways. You can either do one thing, like on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, any of those live options, or you can broadcast across all of them. That helps to alleviate any confusion that some people may have as to when and where your thing is being held. However, if you do choose to go that route, you might need a team of people to help you out, at least in like looking at questions that some people are asking so that you can respond to them. So you know that you may have your significant other watching on a phone, they see someone ask a question, they ask you the question, and then you can answer it. That type of thing. So it's a little tricky. Either which way, however you choose to do it, it's fine for you. Now, when should you start like prepping for this? Because you can't just drop your baby like a newborn giraffe and expect people to want to buy it. You have to work on advertising and get them interested in the product that you are trying to sell them. I've seen recommendations for 6 months out, 4 months out, at least 30 days at a minimum, and it really just depends upon your level of comfort and what you can and cannot do. I personally recommend at least 2 to 3 months out from your release date, starting to work on drumming up a lot of interest in your book. During that 2 to 4 month period, you can reach out to people via your social media or a part of groups, book clubs, booktubers, book talkers, the book talk people, and so on and so forth, asking if anyone is willing to read a free copy of your book for an honest review. And I must stress this, do not expect them to pay for it. You are asking them to do you a solid. That is why you're giving them a free copy. And in doing so, if they review your book on their platform or even just between Amazon, Goodreads, or what have you, you now have another person saying, hey, this is a great book, or this is a good book. But what do you do if they write a negative review? Well, that's a risk you're gonna have to take. However, negative reviews aren't always a bad thing, since reviews and how someone views a book is highly subjected to that person. Someone may look at someone's criticism of it and go, well, I don't think that's such a bad idea, or I don't really have a problem with that. So they might still be willing to give your book a try. The point of the matter is that you then in turn, when your book comes out, you already have some reviews on it, which helps to ease that buying fear that people sometimes have over unknown authors or just books in general. I don't know why. I'm a victim of this as well. If I don't see any reviews in the book, I'm wondering why. Why has no one given this the chance? And nobody really wants to be first. And honestly, if anyone has any psychology background, please let me know why that is. I don't get it. I don't understand, but whatever. But doing this will really help your book out in the long run, because sometimes, especially if you're using people who already have a platform, they may talk about your book on their platform. So then that's hundreds, thousands of people that never knew about you are suddenly knowing about you, and you're vetted by this person. Now, asking people to do this who already have a very established fan base can be tricky. And honestly, I would highly recommend you already having some type of a rapport with them in the beginning before asking them to. But I have found that going on author groups or reader groups and just in general and going, hey, this is a bit synopsis of my book. I'm getting ready to release it. Who's willing to give it a go? And you'll at least get 2 or 3 people who are willing to read your book for free, and it's a start. And that's all that you really need at this point. Something is better than nothing. So let's say you have your book out there to readers. They're going to read it and they're going to review it the day that it's released. Is your work finished? Hell no. You still have so much more that you need to do. But don't worry, I'm going to break it down for you a little bit further. If you're looking for ideas as to what to do to strum up interest for your book, especially the closer you get to the release date, my honest recommendation, look at what other authors are doing. What are your favorite authors doing to strum up interest about their book or to use their fan base to help spread the word? It's okay to borrow ideas from someone. It's okay to go on Pinterest or Google and just search for these things, because you can take an idea and add your own flair to it. Case in point. If you've watched my channel before, you'll know that I'm a fan of Casey L. Bond. She is the queen of the release. Period, point blank, hands down. I am just in awe of the ideas that she has to strum up interest in her book, to use her platform to its fullest advantage, and the innovative way that she does it. I'm impressed. Casey, I bow to you. Girl, you are a queen at this. Inspiring in so many ways. For her latest book with Shield, Ink, and Bone, which is all about Vikings, and an awesome ass read if you should, just if you're looking for something else to read. A tattoo features heavily in her book. So one of her title release celebration things was a sticker of, the title of the book and the tattoo that is featured. How awesome is that? I would have never thought of anything like that. It is so cool. But just that interesting idea you can take and either borrow and adapt for something that you have, or go, hey, well, what are the other things that I can do? But the biggest takeaway is trying to find ways to make it worth people's while to talk about your book. Best thing I have ever found are giveaways. Now, when I was working on my release for the Serpent's Coils, I did what is called a media blitz, which 2 weeks before the release of my book, I had created all these promotional pictures on canvas with quotes from the book, and on book brush with images of my book in 3D. And I had my platform share, comment, so on and so forth for entries to win prizes during my virtual releasing. One of which was a free signed copy of my book, the other of which were some notebooks that I had made specifically for this event with the cover of my latest book on top of it. You can literally do anything. You can do bookmarks, you can do buttons, you can do temporary tattoos, you can do die-cut stickers, you can have t-shirts made, coffee mugs made, anything really made. And I guarantee if you take these 2 to 3 months to really research and find and prepare, you can find them inexpensively. Now on to the media blitz, because this is really truly important. You cannot skip this step. It may kind of bother you because it feels like you're shoving your book in their face going, buy it, buy it, buy it. And you know that can rub people the wrong way. Just take a moment and look at your TV right now, or listen to the radio, or anything of that nature where you can see ads for things like books, movies, video games, yada yada yada. The closer it gets to the release of that said item, the more commercials you are going to see about said item. These are the like subliminal messaging hints of going, hey, look at it here, look at it here, look at it here. And it keeps it in the forefront of the consumer's mind. So when they finally either come across it or get to the release date, they're like, huh, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about this lately. I should go check it out. Do not skip the media blitz. Do whatever it is that you need to do. You can in turn use your media blitz also like a giveaway type of scenario for the people who are part of your platform as an incentive to share it on their various platforms, like I did with my books and my media blitz. And in all honesty, I could literally sit up here for hours and talk about all the different ways that you could do things for giveaways and to strum up interest, and this video would just go on and on and on and on and on. But in all honesty, I wanted to use this only as a stepping stone for your choices. Find out what works for you. Find out what's interesting for your fan base. If you don't know, just try some things, really in all honesty. And really just make sure that everything that you do as you try to drum up interest in your book and you get ready for the release is sincere. You're not going to get everyone, and everyone who gets it isn't going to like it, and that's just a part of what being an author is. And I know that releasing your book into the wild, especially if it's the first time, is a terrifying ordeal. When I released The Lost Guardian for the first time, I contemplated it for 3 whole days. I was so terrified, I was nauseous, I was sick to my stomach. I just like, no, I don't want to do it, people are mean. And then I just hit submit and say, you know what, it is what it is. And my book did fine, and once you get over that first initial fear, it's not so bad. Granted, with the last book of the Lost Guardian trilogy, Time of Prophecy, I was actually in a bookstore, and I sat in my car and I had a panic attack. Thank God for my husband, that's really all I have to say. He is my rock sometimes. I sat there and was like, I don't want to do this. I made a huge mistake. What the hell am I thinking? I can't talk in front of people. And he was like, no, no, no. You're good. You're good. And I went and it was fine. I'm rambling. What is the point I was trying to make with this? Ah, yes. Back on track. Releasing your book is stressful. I hope that I've given you some ideas of to how to make your release the most successful release that it can be. And if it's not me, try to find someone else to help you, because this is just as important as your editor, as your cover designer, and as fully developing your plot and structure. That is all that I have for you guys today. I am so happy to be back, and I'll see you all for the next video. Bye.